Hi, my name is Kourtney Stark, and I'm here today to talk to you about the disposition to teach. And I'm going to answer a couple questions, and yeah. What I possess as a teacher already that I see myself being good at is the respect for a diversity of others. I feel like I'm pretty good with that and fairness of understanding students that they have, like, they're dealing with different things going on as children and as kids, because I played sports, so I understand what it's like going home, not even getting to go home after school, going to practice right away, and then having to go home after everything and having to do a bunch of homework. So I kind of understand what it's like for students that can't get to it right away, and fairness for those who are struggling with little things, struggling with, like, they don't learn the same way as like some others do. So like some learn auditory, and then some learn in visual. And that was something I noticed me going in high school, that I struggled with. A lot of teachers were not good at showing that. A lot of teachers only taught one-sided in one way, so I always told myself that I don't want to be that type of a teacher that teaches one way. You need to teach multiple. Some things I see myself needing to work on is the professional conduct, because I'm still learning on everything to do with being it and still growing as a person and being a young adult. So I'm still learning, like, the responsibilities and things that you need to learn, that people are going to be looking up to you and seeing you, and you need to be responsible and mature and stuff like that. So I think that's something that I'll get along the way. Things I think teachers should be are well-mannered, respectful, compassionate and caring, and being there for all their students, because these are people, the students are going to look up to the teachers as like a role model figure, someone that they want to go to, or someone at least that makes like an impact to them in the future, because that's important for students, because we are working on developing their brains and teaching them, and they shouldn't be taught by someone that is not well-mannered and someone that is harsh and rude. They should be taught by someone who is caring and there for them, making them want to even learn more. And a standard guide for us teachers to follow should be the model code of ethics for education. A positive way that us as teachers can help these students in their development of life is that we are looked at as a role model. The biggest thing as a teacher is that they are not just something just to be there for a paycheck. They are an actual influence to these students' lives, even though you can be more of one or you can be less of one. But no matter what, you are going to impact their life if you were positive or negative. So a positive way is just being there to be able to, some kids are able to remember you over the years from just how greatly impactful that you did for their lives, and it makes them always remember that, which is so great. A negative thing that teachers can do as well is that they can emotionally hurt more students. If they're already going through something terrible at home, and then you as a teacher being negative and rude and you causing them more stress, does not help them in any shape or form. It makes them go home with a terrible place and then go to school, which is a terrible place. Or even if they have a good home, going to school and their teacher's terrible and negative, they're not going to want to be there, and it's going to make them not want to learn. And this can unfortunately ruin their confidence and possibly crush their dreams. Following the code of ethics is a good way for a teacher by being fair to every single student. Like I mentioned in the last questions, that we should make sure that students are allowed to all be taught in different ways, because if you teach them one-sided one way, they're not going to understand. And for those that are sitting there, they could actually really thrive, but the way we teach is causing them not, which is what is so sad. And that's why it's so important that we focus on that issue as a teacher. Having professional standards is another important way of being a teacher, because dealing with situations that we're going to have rude students down the line, and we have to be professional about it, because other students are also going to see how we react in these difficult situations. So having to deal with it professionally and calmly is a great way to do it. And it is also like another way of parenting. We are also trying to teach these students to be respectful to ourselves as well. So if we're being disrespectful to them, how are they going to be respectful to us? And always following all the laws is very important. There are obviously some things that teachers are allowed to do and are not allowed to do because of the laws. So that is important to always follow. A healthy way for moral development for my students, I can see, is being positive and fair and caring and responsible and all these great things, making them want to enjoy coming to class and learning. It's very hard when it's like obviously being forced to do it, but sometimes making it just that little bit of time for them to have fun and be enjoying and actually leave the class being happy, being like, oh, I learned something today, is a great way. And also knowing that it's like your teacher can be someone caring. Most of the time, most of us remember those teachers that were the ones that stepped out of their box and were caring and showed compassion to the students, and were the ones that would always take time to talk to them. Especially myself, I've always looked at those were my favorite teachers. So that is something that's healthy, because it makes those students feel more cared about, that it's like, okay, I'm not just someone that's just here in the class trying to get an A. I actually mean something to these teachers and mean something. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.